Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and I'm gonna bring you to our 2 Nation boat tour in a Thousand Island, New York.
They also own the multi-million-dollar Curry Mansion in Key West, Florida, and that's where they reside during our winter season. Now along this seawall, we see some amazing stonework, hidden doors, windows, and some statues. Look closely at these statues. The eyes and mouths, well, they're painted red. Miss Marsh put those statues in there. She was trying to scare away the evil spirits that were coming in from Canada. Not like ghosts, goblins, and ghouls, but alcohol spirits. During this time, America was going through a prohibition making alcohol illegal. So they would hang lanterns in the boathouses and homes getting ready for the winter months. The last home right here is Winley Lodge, purchased by Fred and Nellie Fraser from Solvay, New York. Now they hired Gagin & Gagin from Syracuse, New York to design the home, and Garlock Brothers of Alexander Bay to build the home. This was the last home built on Millionaire's Row before World War Pardon. Up ahead of us, under that bridge system up there, is a lighthouse, and that's where he was made to man that Rock Island Lighthouse to the age of 82 when he passed away. Now in August, about the middle of August, we have Pirate Days. If you want to come back and join in our pirate fun, dunk a pirate, dress like a pirate, you can do so. Check out our website. So we do have these above water shoals, and those are cormorants that are resting on there. And then we're coming up on the Wauwinet Inn, very famous Boatel Hotel, just like any Holiday Inn, but only accessible by boat. His body was never recovered. One thing we did discover is that the ship, it split in half when it sank because it never being fully recovered. It's a master 5-star dive. It's 160 feet below us. Now, looking over on your left-hand side, this is Hopewell Hall. It sits on Wellesley Island, originally owned by William Browning, manufacturing the uniforms for the Union Army during the Civil War. Later purchased by George Bull as a wedding present for his daughter, Clover. She then passed it down to her daughter. Think to your favorite wedding present. Most recently, the grandson of Mr. E.J. Noble purchased this. E.J. Noble is a very popular name around our area, and he also invented the Lifesaver candy from a small town called Gouverneur, New York, if you're familiar with our region and our area. So next we have Pullman Island, once owned by George Pullman. He invented the sleeper-style rail car. A castle once stood on this island, and that was Castle Rest, folks, but it was sadly torn down over a tax dispute with the town. And we did hear he was friends with President Ulysses S. Grant, to invite him up to hang out with them one summer. And that was before any structures were built on the island, so they tented out. We did have at least 5 castles at one point in our area. So Castle Rest was torn down, Calumet and Clayton caught on fire. Castle May is still standing, as well as Singer Castle and Boat Castle. But Singer and Boat, they're only 2 castles you can tour. Singer Castle is the only castle you can overnight in. Now the island's on the left-hand side, and this is owned by a retired doctor, Dr. Marola, and he lives in Casanova, New York. If you look at that middle home, that second home, look at those pillars. How's everyone doing? Still doing good, okay. So we're coming by Friendly or Dewey Island, and there is some islands here that can be rented out as Airbnbs, and this is one of them. This one's owned by Paul Quackenbush, founder of Empire Aero. It's now American Airlines, and his great-grandfather was a modern-day inventor. So he invented things like the double-hinge nutcracker, extension ladder, as well as a pennant for the Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. Show of hands, who's seen A Christmas Story? Gonna shoot your eye out. This island is also said to be so friendly, if you wave to it, even this white fence will wave back at you. Some Airbnbs do like a 2-night minimum stay on there. You can check them out online. My favorite island is what we're approaching now, and it's St. Elmo's Island, named after the patron saint of sailors. You'll notice a large white anchor sitting on the hill, and that is there to commemorate the men and women who have served and are currently serving on the St. Lawrence. Now, as we go by, there's a smaller home down at the bottom of the hill there. That's a small replica of what the larger home once looked like while it was up on top, before it caught on fire. So during the Great Depression, we found out a lot of these owners were setting their homes on fire to collect money from the insurance agencies. Guess they didn't realize they didn't have any money either, so they set their homes on fire for nothing. Right? The chalets in the opening there, privately owned condominiums. So let's talk about island fires for a minute, because back in the day that it did happen quite frequently, and most owners didn't have the proper means to pump out the water, even though these islands are surrounded by them. So they did lose lots of homes and businesses. But nowadays we're more equipped and we're more advanced. Local fire departments around this area are all volunteer, but we work well together, putting the fire out in a timely fashion, also having a sense of humor on the waters. You may find some of our boats roaming around. They're appropriately named in order by their speed. So the Last Chance, the No Hope, and the Long Gone. I remember the year I joined the fire department. Very excited to do that. And then all of a sudden I realized this is my 6th year in. I do have some ice water training. 47 fireplaces and 365 windows, one for every day of the year. Now there's an Otis elevator helping you make your way up to those levels, a grand stairwell right in the front entrance. Down below those windows is an in-ground swimming pool. There's a theater room, there's this Georgia Suite, Clover Suite, Louisa Suite. They've done renovations each year on this. The tunnel of windows there, they could transport luggage and goods from the docks through this tunnel into the castle without anyone ever seeing a thing. Pointy structure through the trees is a dovecote. The Henry, George houses exotic birds in there. We see some white statues. This is the Italian garden surrounding the Henry. And there's some wedding chairs up there. There was a wedding there yesterday, one as well today. So many brides do come here to say, I do. The last stone structure you can see right here is on February 14th, 1904. Sadly though, 1 month and 1 week prior to this date, Mr. Bolt sent a telegraph over to the island to the workers. That telegraph stated this: stop all work, Louise has died. Put down your equipment, your tools, leave the island at once, never to return, signed George Bolt. Workers did exactly what they were told, and they laid all the equipment tools right down to their feet. They left the island, they never returned. We did find out she passed away in her early 40s from heart failure. So Bolt, so heartbroken over all of this, he just couldn't bear to step back foot on the island there, even though he still continued to vacation up in the Thousand Island region for many summers. So just kind of laid in ruins for over 70 years. So the Thousand Island Bridge Authority came along to purchase this. After they purchased this island, they had strict rules they had to follow. No one could ever stay at the castle because Louise never got to. Castle couldn't confess 95% completion, as she never got to see it completed, and the castle couldn't make any profit. Upon touring the castle, anything you purchase over there goes back into the restoration, but only at 95%. So I did give you a short little history on that. I do encourage you to stop there if you're able to, and check out the theater room. There's a video that tells a little bit more of his story that when I can on this tour. Now, my first tour through Boat Castle, I saw everyone's signatures all over. Now they've furnished it. Check out where we called it St. Lawrence River. Alright, so on your left-hand side, there's a corkscrew-like object sticking out of the trees. You've been able to see that. That is an observation tower, a sky deck that sits over Hill Island in Canada. Now, it does rise 400 feet above the water. At one point, was looking at this property here to purchase it. He was cruising through on it, yeah, 2 years ago. Once not taken it. On your left-hand side, if you get a little closer, just keep an eye, you're going to see the Lawrence Trust and the regular arch thing. Sides, no joke this time, but maybe you can see some whirlpools and eddies, or in a section of the river called the I like to run, I am a runner. 900 marathons and other races I do run up dock train and running. I saw dock running. Not as fast. Get up to 8 hours. And through this section, you notice passengers were all asleep coming through here. And he was looking for emotional edge. So he had a friend, a blank fiddler. His name is Chauncey Patterson. Asked him to come up to the left-hand side of Evan's friend. He said, can you play some Latin tunes for my passengers? So Chauncey agreed. do that. All to thank him for that. Then Beck hands around the baskets collecting gratuities for Chauncey. And all to him for his grades. And that. I love for these books, especially if you want to learn a little history and the river, as there's a map in here. And Visker, if anyone's been roaming